I don't know. It must be his wife's brother. 'Cause I don't think he's Emily. The thing with he's not gonna like, so I don't think they're biological brothers.
Uh,
Sorry, do I know you?
you don't know me, but I need some information. Yes.
Look, I think you're definitely confused here. I really don't have time to have a discussion with you. My partner's waiting for me. He's a very important man.
Your partner happened to be very thirsty.
Who? Look, can you just cut to the chase already? What's this about?
Maybe I should talk to your wife instead.
His wife? Oh, for the love of God. I told Larry to keep his big mouth shut, but did he listen? No. He had to impress his friends and treat me like a trophy. Look, I've been in this business for a long time, and I know how this game works. So let's skip all the banter and get it over with. What's it gonna take to make us both happy?
Are you willing to part with your jewels?
You're not very bright, are you? I'm a grade C3 exec at Galbang. That means my credentials get me into two places, the front door and the ladies' room. If that's all you really want, you're certainly welcome to them.
Yes. Yes.
If I give you dirt on that son of a bitch Dombrowski, all I'm doing is endangering myself. Why would I do that? That's true. You have come this far already.
I got Steel Series mouse.
I'd love to see that man
I
suffer.
wanted the Death Adder, but my mom grabbed
About me than
Steel
I
Series
suspected.
instead.
Can't have
Cheaper.
that. That's true. For once, I would like to see him squirm. All right, you've made your point. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme where thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet.
If you're angry at anybody, it should be yourself for getting mixed up in this ridiculous scheme in the first place.
Judge me all you want, lady. At this point, if I'm going down, then all I'm focused on is dragging Larry down with me.
If you hate a guy so much, why were you sending him a moment ago?
I didn't know who the hell you were. For all I knew, you were working for Dombrowski. It's called playing it cool. You should try it sometime. I didn't know who the hell you were. It's called playing. I didn't know who the hell you were. For all it's called playing it cool. I didn't know who the hell you were. For all I knew, you were working for Dombrowski. It's called playing it cool. You should try it sometime.
What are we talking about?
I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just say that I'd be sent to prison for a long time if Galbank figured it out. I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just say that I'd be sent to prison for a long time if Galbank figured it out.
Tell me about the scheme. Is that outside? Or it's inside? I don't know.
Excellent.
I seen a butt outside.
There's a spider in
Tell me about this scheme.
the spider needs to finish the work.
Yep,
Because that's like half a web. That's not even a full web.
I know.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off us. We were scamming Galbank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor
Means it was
before
thrown
deleting
around a
them.
lot.
Yep. You think he was using you? You think he was using you?
Oh, I know he was using me. At the same time, he was saying how much he loved me. He was stringing me along and stabbing me in the back.
Why didn't you confront him?
I was going to confront him back on Jemison, but then he invited me on this little trip through the stars. All expenses paid, first-class accommodations, the works. I figured, why not wait until I've milked him for every credit he's spending before I drop the hammer?
Why aren't you worried I'll blow the whistle on the whole thing?
You won't do that. You're here because you've got some kind of side hustle in the works. If you wanted to blow the whistle, you would have boarded this ship with the authorities. You won't do that. You're here because you've got some kind of side hustle in the works. If you wanted to blow the whistle, you would have boarded this ship with the authorities.
It's on circle, isn't it, bro?
Yes. Yes.
Give me proof and I can
Do you
use
usually
it.
just stare at people like that? I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel Vera. He should be around here somewhere. If he doesn't want to cooperate, just mention my name. That should grab his attention. Good luck. You're gonna need it.
What was?
What, are you writing a damn novel? Fine. Vera works for UC Security, so he kept a lookout on their comnet for any Galbank chatter. I guess you could call him our early warning system. And Dombrowski made sure that all of the crypto manipulation I was working on didn't turn up in Galbank's automatic audits. You need top clearance for that kind of access, so we had to cut him in, whether we liked it or not.
What exactly is going on between...
What do you think is going on? I'm using that gullible idiot to get what I want. If I have to squash him on my way to the top, then so be it. Let's get one thing straight. Larry Dombrowski's no saint. He deserves everything that's coming to him.
Okay, I don't blame you one bit.
I don't know. If he's broken the law, he should be...
Stoop to Dombrowski. The plan's all not bad. I hope you heard. I hope you heard Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall. Haven't you gotten enough out of me already? I wrote a computer algorithm that basically creates a randomized number of false ghost credits that mimic the crypto key of actual credits. Then the algorithm simply passes the ghost credits to whatever legit transfers that the bank transacts. The genuine credits enter a dummy account. The best part is that I also alter the crypto keys as the real cash flows into our accounts. By the time it lands in our pockets, the creds are clean. So, on paper, it appears that all of the bank's transactions are covered, when it's really just our ghosted dummy creds. Genius, right? What do you think is going on? I'm using that... Let's get one thing straight.
I agree completely. We just want you to explain to us what you've been dealing with, so we can help.
It doesn't matter if you're here to judge me or not, because there's nothing to judge. Dombrowski is a piece of human garbage. He'd stab you in the back. The plan's all not bad. I wrote a computer algorithm. Then the best part is... So, on. What do you think? I'm using that gun. Let's get one thing straight.
That was a bit insensitive. But my colleague's right. If you're manipulating him, doesn't that make you just as guilty?
Where the hell do you... Dombrowski?
So far, I gotta say, the headset comfortable, but when it comes to audio levels, you can hardly hear the audio levels.
Sorry, do I know you? That's gotta be the biggest struggle right now. Look, I think you're definitely confused here. I really don't have time to have a discussion with you. My partner's waiting for me. He's a very important man. Who?
His wife instead.
His wife? I told Larry to... Look, what's it gonna take? You're not very bright, are you? I'm a grade C3 exec at Galbank. That means my credentials get me into two places. The front door and the ladies' room. If that's all you really want, you're certainly welcome to them.
All I need is something Yes. Yes.
If I give you dirt on that son of a bitch Dombrowski, all I'm doing is endangering myself. Why would I do that? If you had another way to get the information, you wouldn't be dealing. You'd be demanding. This is just gonna keep going until I give in, isn't it? You know more about me than I suspected. Can't have that. That's true. For once, I would like to see him squirm. All right, you've made your point. You know,
I know I am.
this whole thing really pisses me off.
I know I am.
Larry and I had the perfect scheme where thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet.
If you're angry at anybody, it should be yourself for getting mixed up in this ridiculous scheme in the first place.
Judge me all you want, lady. At this point, if I'm going down, then all I'm focused on is dragging Larry down with me. I didn't know who the hell you were. For all I knew, you were working for Dombrowski. It's called playing it cool. You should try it sometime. I'm not gonna tell you. Let's just say that I'd be sent to prison for a long time if Galvin figured it out.
Can't. I want to, but I can't.
Yeah, I'm getting to that. Larry got together with myself and this other guy, Gabriel Vera. He's some bigwig over at UC Security. I doctored the transactions, Larry wiped them off the system, and Vera kept the legal pressure off of us. We were scamming Galbank for months. It was going well until I discovered Larry was cheating everyone by changing each transaction in his favor before deleting them. Oh, I know he was using me. At the same time, he was saying... I was going to confront him back on Jemison. All expensive. You won't do that. You're here because you've got some kind of side hustle in them. If you wanted to blow them... I wish I had some. Maybe you should try talking to Gabriel. If he doesn't want to go up, good luck. What do you think is going on? I'm using that gullible idiot to get what I want. If I have to squash him on my way to the top, let's get one thing straight.
I agree completely. We just want you to explain to us what you've been dealing with, so we can help.
It doesn't matter if you're here to judge me or not, because there's nothing to judge. Dombrowski is a piece of human garbage. He'd stab you in the back for table scraps, then stab you again to steal dessert. The plan's always been to milk the guy for everything he's worth, and then leave him in the dust. Not bad for a lowly Galbank worker drone, right? What, are you ready to damn novel? Vera, Work, and Dombrowski. You need top clearance. I wrote a computer algorithm then the algorithm. The best part is, so on. I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
Can you believe the size of this cabin? It's large enough to accommodate a family of 12. God, what a ridiculous waste of space. That was a hell of a jump.
Quite an event they're throwing today, don't you think? Hello. You here for the charity event?
You often attend honest community causes?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer that attending these types of events tends to absolve one of their sins and cleanse their soul. But something tells me you're not really here to discuss the event. What did you really want to talk about? Dombrowski, he's the exec holding court over in the VIP area of the ballroom. Yeah, sorry, I work for UC Security, not Galbank. I don't really know him personally. To be honest, I'm here to keep an eye on the charity event. It might not be as glamorous an assignment as a colony rescue or taking down some criminals, but anything that keeps the peace is important to me. What is this all about, anyway? You mean specifically? Oh, I work for the Corporate Fraud Division. We monitor all of the major megacorp financials and transactions to ensure that nothing improper occurs. You're asking a lot of strange questions. What exactly do you want? Claudia sent you, did she? Look, friend, I don't know if you're just a little drunk, maybe a touch crazy, or both. Whatever you think you know about me, you're dead wrong. So back off.
You're a liar and an absolute disgrace to the United Colonies.
Back off for what?
Don't test me. You have no idea how high up the chain I am with UC Security. Not only can I make you disappear, I can also make sure the settled systems forget you existed in the first place.
You don't.
Just in case you weren't aware, I am the authorities. Anything you try to report will boil down to your word against mine. And since I work for UC Security, who do you think people will believe?
So, what brings you aboard?
An open bar would have been nice. Tried this gouging us for every credit.
I sold you a little exchange with Vera. Keep that up, and I guarantee that imbecile's gonna demand that you be arrested. Oh, absolutely. He's up the ladder at UC Security. Lots of pull. We have to handle this very delicately. Which is why he's threatening you. That makes sense. We need hard evidence of their scheme. It's gonna be tricky. The problem is he's not gonna talk to you in public. We need to get Vera isolated so he'll spill everything he knows. Yeah, that's smart. Kill Vera, or anyone else involved in his conspiracy, and then Dombrowski heads for the hills. Besides, you really want to ace a member of UC Security and have them breathing down your neck? You'll be the top story on SSNN. No, there has to be a safer way. Maybe, but if something goes wrong and he's able to raise an alarm, we're sunk. With all of these wealthy patrons aboard, the ship is crawling with security. Smart. If there's an emergency, standard practice is for all passengers to clear the decks and report to their cabins for lockdown. I think the best chance we have would be to tamper with the life support sensors. Manipulate a few controls and you can fool the monitoring system into thinking there's a life support failure. And there you have your emergency.
The ship be at risk without life support.
This is one of Trident's premier starliners. That means it has the best of everything, including a triple redundancy life support system. They installed a backup for the backup. Luckily for us, it will still trip an emergency and everyone will have to return to their quarters until I sound the all clear, which I won't.
You're crazy. I'm not. Guess I'll do whatever it takes to get it done.
Whatever it takes. He's talking about tampering with the only system.
Don't worry. It'll be as easy as it will. One more thing. I prefer you. Anyway, I better stop.
I hope you hurt Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
Investigators believe that his father, 42-year-old Day Ray, was responsible for shooting each family member, including his surviving son, pictured here in an earlier photo. Day Ray, along with his wife,
I hope you hurt Dombrowski.
son, 11-year-old Bo Ray, and two daughters, 8-year-old Christina Ray.
Nail his ass. You've already ruined our scheme. What do you think? I'm using that gullible idiot. Let's get one thing straight.
I agree completely.
It doesn't matter if Dombrowski. The plan's all not bad.
Hey, Diamond.
After the incident, both Bridget and Michelle were at Shaw's hospital bedside.
December 22nd, I received a call right home. A family member at the hospital saying he's now asking for his parents. I said, our shoes were right there. We allowed him to ask questions, and then we gave him the hard answers and explained to him what had happened to him.
Look, I think you're I really don't have time.
And his first response was this, probably one of the most loving sentences I've ever heard in my life. He says, "But I still love him."
His wife. I told Larry. Look, what's it gonna take? You're not very. If that's all. If I give you dirt on that son of a bitch Dombrowski, all I'm doing is endangering myself. Why would I do that?
The first thing that we said was, we're going to help you walk at graduation.
Yeah, you could be right.
The second thing we said was, it's okay to have bad days.
That's true. You have come this far already.
Still alive, which is a miracle.
During his recovery, he shared with news sources his philosophy on
As much as I can't stand Larry, I'm...
Classmates, teachers, and principals. From their life, they will be kind of, which is nice. Religion is a big part of why it's so positive. It's
Sorry. Do I know you?
Don't know me, but I know some information. Yes.
Look, I think you're... I really don't have time. Who?
tragedy struck in the following months.
His wife. I told Larry. Look, what's it gonna take? You're not very bright. If that's all. If I give you dirt on that, I should make him pay for doing this to me.
Hey, you're not gonna explain how he died?
What? Who?
Only survivor of a dad that killed
If
his
you had another way to get the information, you would? Is that supposed...
My friends yesterday morning, the 18th of June morning in Moscow, Russia's capital, Ukraine commenced the largest drone and missile attack that has ever happened against Moscow post-war. We will go into images, photos, videos, reactions, and every aspect of this attack, and there's so much footage that if I would have
Sorry.
every angle, Mr. Moscowitz
Me better need to come in pretty.
Look, I
for
think
until
I
next
really don't have
time. So,
time.
only the most important. We begin
Who?
with just to show you a little illustration of what it looked like the day the attack was on.
His wife. I told Larry. Look, What's it gonna take? You're not very bright. If that's all you. If I give you journal, that's son of a. That's true. You have come this far already. Maybe. I don't know. You know more about me than I suspected. Can't have that. Yeah, you could be right. All right, you've made your point. You know, this whole thing really pisses me off. Larry and I had the perfect scheme worth thousands of credits all worked out, and then he goes and flushes the whole thing down the toilet.
If you're angry at him,
Judge me all you... I didn't know who the hell... It's called playing. I'm not gonna tell you. Yeah. Larry got together. I doctored the train. It was going well. Oh, I know. At the same time, I was going to confront him back. All expensive. If you wanted to blow the... I wish I had some. Maybe you should try... If he doesn't want to come up, good luck. What do you think is... I'm using that gullet. Let's get one thing straight.
I agree completely. We just want you to explain.
It doesn't matter. Dombrowski is... The plan's all... Not bad for... I wrote a computer out. Then the out. The best part is... So... What, are you... Vera works... And Dombrowski... You need top clearance. I hope you heard Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
Any complaints about your cruise should be directed to one of the staff.
So, what brings you aboard?
You look a bit lost in these surroundings. Hello? Oh, absolutely. I'm a firm believer, but... Dombrowski, yeah, sorry. To be honest, it might not be as last. What is this all about? You mean specifically? We monitor all... You're asking a lot of... Claudia sent you. Look, friend, whatever you think...
You're a liar and an...
Don't test me. Not only can I make...
Stop. Stop.
Just in case you weren't aware, I am the authority. Anything you try to... And since I work...
It's a long time since I've been to Mars. Sol system doesn't get a lot of traffic.
The society ship has really outdone herself this time.
So, what brings you aboard? Have you tried the canopies? Or positively?
I sold in exchange. Oh, absolutely. Which is why it's threat. We need hard. The problem is, yeah, that's smart. Besides, you ready? No. Maybe. With all of the smart. I think the best check. Manipulate what you can. This is one of Triton's, including, luckily for us,
Yes, exactly. We shouldn't go near that system. If anything goes wrong, we kill everyone aboard.
you don't need to know anything about the system. All you need to do is access the maintenance area and throw some switches. One more thing. If Chief Engineer Sundin gives you any trouble, tell him I'll erase that gambling debt he owes me. I prefer you use that as a last resort. But hey, what's the harm in losing a few credits when I'm on the brink of rejoining the fleet, right? Anyway, I better start packing. Things are getting hotter out here, and won't be long before Triton figures out who had help. On the surface, he's an upstanding citizen of the United Colonies, pretty high up in UC security. Lots of clout with Nast. Underneath, he's a greedy piece of garbage. Given the chance, he'd backstab you for a cred stick and pin the murder on someone else. Come to think of it, if he wasn't such a petty tyrant, he'd probably thrive with the Crimson Fleet. All passengers are instructed to immediately report to their cabins. That way, we keep the halls clear and avoid a panic. Fortunately for us, all of the passenger cabin doors will automatically unlock. This is no way to ensure the crew can check cabins quickly and without interference. But in our case, it's like having an all-access pass. There's access to the crew section that you can reach through the Starfield bowl. Chief Sundin should be there, wasting time at his station as usual. Have fun with the guy. He's a real piece of work. Once you're past Sundin, just look for the room marked Environmental Control. Everything you need is inside. You seriously need to ask. Okay, i'll give you 2 reasons. First, Goldbank protects their own. Kill Dombrowski, and they send Ecliptic after every Crimson Fleet ship they can find. Not something they'll doubt at all, I suspect. And second, you open Galbank employee in every single Galbank facility in the settled systems will triple their security. I'm gonna guess that won't help with whatever your plans are regarding Galbank, now will it? Go to something useful, okay?
The ship's purser can assist you with any matter.
I'll be back.
Sean learned that the charge was a felony and completely fell apart. The officer told him he had just gotten off probation and was now heading right. He was loaded into the patrol car and taken to the county jail. Deshaun was charged with resisting arrest with violence and disruption of an educational facility. He pleaded not guilty. He went too far trying to get back into school, but in the next case, 2 suspects went too far with a sword and a plan they thought no one would ever find out about. On October 20th,
1 in 5 lawyer discipline cases start with one trust money mistake. Cosmolex catches errors before they cost you. With built-in trust accounting, client funds stay separate, so compliance stays simple. See why firms trust Cosmolex.
He will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
I moved over here about 18 months ago, and I don't love it here. I've worked for some time in the health service in the UK and decided it was time to make a change. I sent off my CV to multiple different companies, multiple different practices, and Nirvana is the route I went down.
See, that's what. Yes. Okay, I have a plan with what I said. All I have to do is be over there at my fam's place and call the cops for a breaking and entering. What are you talking about there?
It was something that happened in my family's house. We've been trying to get rid of it. Everyone has been getting into my storage, and there's stuff in my storage, and they keep finding it unlocked. That was something entirely different.
Hold on, listen. Okay, Abby, just tell her she needs to leave. Follow my lead. Just tell her to leave, dude. I didn't move. I did the right time. So now what? Operation kick out, me following the call to the cops once on my family's. What does that mean?
What would you rather? Spinach or fries?
I'm sorry about it. Because she had asked what I was leave. And that's why I said Operation Kick Out. Is every time I get told to leave, I say Operation Kick Out. It's a go-to thing to tell me to leave. And it's like, she kicks me out, and then a few days later, she said, come back over.
Well, why don't you pop off one little firecracker? What would you like me to do? Stab her? I don't know. I don't have the energy to do shit. Unless I ask your mom to give me a ride to Target and you do what is needed. What do you mean you do what is needed?
I have no clue who's from this on. From beyond here, I don't know what's going on.
You don't know what's going on. What is a message from you?
I do have another cell phone.
tell you that they still own that house. They live in that house. Okay, what are you talking about? I don't know. That's not you. That's not me. Who is it? That's the other phone concern. They were being used to subtract before. I said this is going to be weird. I don't know, man. These messages look a lot like there's some conspiring going on, some planning going on. You want to start over? Because I was really confused with everything that's going on. Like, you're telling me you have two phones now, and this is hard to use them, and it's only yours on your screen.
I think Detective Ciara smiled at me fast, but text messages on his phone told a different story. They discussed which weapon to use, how to aim, and how to take out everyone. I suspect the messages were confusing.
There's nothing quite like the view from the Starfield ballroom. It's breathtaking. This is one of Trident's top-of-the-line vessels. Hell of a ship, isn't it?
There's some heavy security protecting this area, but judging from the fact that this is the life support control, it certainly makes sense.
Hold up. This area is off limits to passengers. Wait a second. You're Captain Rockoff's guest, right? Didn't expect to see you down here. Sorry to give you trouble. What can I do for you?
Long down here, isn't it?
Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner-class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong, the quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. I'm really busy, so if we could hurry this along. I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire tech team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse, though, right? Oh, sorry, that area is off limits. No exceptions. No, sorry, I'm afraid it's impossible. Private regulations strictly prohibit anyone from entering the life support area without a valid reason. Look, I'm not trying to be a jerk here, it's just that I could lose my job, you know? Oh, really? Well, that changes things quite a bit. Tell you what, I'm just going to step out for a bit and stretch my legs. Maybe you can hold this for me while we wait. Honestly, he's a seasoned ship captain. He told me he was a long hauler for years, and the experience shows. Only thing is, he's always talking about trade deals and plans for get-rich-quick schemes. It's all the guy ever thinks about. Why he decided to be a Starliner captain, I'll never know. It's almost like he craves being around money. Tell you what, though, for someone that loves credit so much, he sure doesn't mind gambling them when we play cards. Yeah, a little. A few of the techs call this deck the dungeon. I think you can see why. Not exactly Starliner class comfort down here. Don't get me wrong, the quiet gives me time to gather my thoughts, catch up on work, and all that, but I'd rather work on the bridge. I'm the Siren's chief engineer. Trident put me in charge of the entire deck team. We do our best to keep the ship running smoothly and efficiently. Of course, this beauty is a cutting-edge piece of spacecraft design. Almost everything has triple redundancy, like the life support system. Unfortunately, that means there's quite a bit of downtime. Could be worse, though, right? Remember not to touch anything, please.
Well, it appears that we've definitely ruined the party. Everyone's gone.
All passengers are being asked to return to their cabins at this time. The Siren of the Stars is now in emergency status. Please remain calm and proceed to your cabin.
Can you believe the size of this cabin? It's large enough to accommodate a family of 12. God, what a ridiculous waste of space.
I was wondering if you were the cause of the ship-wide emergency. It's time you stopped playing games. and tell me why you're here.
Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Doesn't take a genius to deduce you're the one that's responsible. I locked onto you from the moment you entered the ballroom, and I've watched you trying to clock Dombrowski. After we spoke, I had a feeling you'd pull a stunt like this. You're working for Ikande's little anti-pirating outfit? So what? I have nothing to do with the Crimson Fleet. And even if I suddenly decided to stay loyal to the old UC, why would I possibly want to incriminate myself by handing over evidence? Don't act so surprised. You didn't really think I'd make a deal with Cloudy or Dombrowski without having a little insurance policy of my own, did you? Huh? If I've learned anything in my years at the corporate fraud division, it's always have an exit strategy.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please?
Claudia said that. You sure? Damn it! That means my money's already gone. And Dombrowski's going to walk away with a fortune. I'd love to see the bastard fry. But if I give you that information and it falls into the wrong hands, I could end up in jail. Oh, I've got everything you're gonna need. This is a one-stop shop for you. We're talking a slate loaded with dates, account numbers, ID scans, even an audio recording. It was my little insurance policy in case the shit hit the fan. There's a solid enough trail here to send Dombrowski straight to jail. Dombrowski had the authorization to wipe out records on Galbank's system without raising any red flags. I let Claudia talk me into that. She said she had him wrapped around her finger. Apparently, she was wrong.
Next case, there was no plan at all. Just weeks of bullying, one snap in a bathroom, and a teenager who did not make it to the next day.
At least I walk away with something. All right, you have yourself a deal. Here, with this slate and this recording to tie it all together, you'll be able to nail his ass to the wall. He'll do whatever you want. Just remember that you promised to leave me out of it.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion.
Well, since Claudia has been spending time disgustingly close to Dombrowski, I think she's suffered enough. On the other hand, I've got very, very special plans for Larry. I have some friends that can, well, let's just say, take care of the problem. That's if you leave him alive, of course. We'll just have to wait and see. I wasn't lying when I said I didn't know anything about your undercover work, if that's what you're trying to imply. All I can tell you is that there's more than a few people at Mast who find Commander Akande to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, the UC is aware that the Crimson Fleet is a problem, but it pales in comparison to the issues with the Freestar Collective. Ikande's loaded with big-picture ideas, but not a ton of evidence to put them into action. And frankly, it's driving my superiors crazy. Wait a moment. Are you telling me that this scheme is getting so out of hand, it also involves the Crimson Fleet? That's all I need right now. Enemies on two fronts. Just because I'm helping you nail Dombrowski doesn't mean I'm turning my back on UC security. How else am I going to ensure that he ends up behind bars when all this comes crashing down? No. You can leave me out of your merry little band of pirates. Thank you very much.
All passengers,
You better tell
may I
Dombrowski
have your
to
attention,
if
please?
you don't kill him,
The captain
I
has
will.
declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Well, well. You must be the one who's been accosting Claudia and Gabriel. I'm uncertain what you hope to accomplish here, but it appears we should rapidly enter into some sort of negotiation. You don't actually believe that I'd venture into such precarious criminal territory without a proper bird's-eye view of the situation, do you? I'm uncertain why you've become entangled in this spider's web, but this situation demands swift and resolute action. Excellent, excellent. So, before we begin, let's review the facts. First, it's clear that you've obtained insider knowledge of my arrangement to defraud the gal bank. The means and the method, perhaps, but not the motive. And second, I'm going to hypothesize that my compatriots are despondent regarding their share and have assisted you with this endeavor. Since we're speaking and I'm not at the reporting end of a bullet, this leads me to conclude that you desire something personal from me. You may as well ask, is it necessary for the sun to set on Jemison, or for one to wear a pressure suit when entering the vacuum of space? I pride myself on having an intensely thorough education, though I'd hardly call myself a professor. Though I'm sure that your compliment also meant you were having trouble understanding what I've been saying. In blunt terms, you have compromising materials about me in your possession. The only thing I have to offer in return are my gal bank credentials. I assume that's what you've been angling for all along?
Oh, do get on with this. There's only so long I can stand being in the presence of this pig.
Well, I'm surprised you even posed that question at all. The answer is quite obvious. The last thing I'd want to do at this point is call attention to myself. Obviously, that wouldn't be my preference, but I have little choice. Though Larry Dombrowski will be mysteriously vanishing after this cruise, and possession of the credentials becomes ludicrous at that point. Splendid. It appears we've reached an accord. Wait, I'm sorry. Let me simplify that for you. It sounds like we have a deal. Oh, of course, I trust you'll understand if I ask for us to avoid any further contact. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to formulate how I'm going to utterly ruin two very annoying business associates. Good day.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Promises him the fight in the case remains under investigation. So bullying to one city. That is what it's one bad day was all it took for a student to cross a line she could never come back from.
I don't stock up on junk. Let's do this.
Situation across the line.
How are you?
I'm good, Jill. Oh, wait.
I'm pretty sure you weren't supposed to take that.
Ooh, that actually looks nice.
So, did it work? Not yet. But the transaction is in progress as we speak. You should expect your profits from our venture soon. You must be patient. No way, Larry. This is not what we agreed. You said the money would be in our accounts by the first of the month.
Give it a rest. It isn't like we're making regular withdrawals. If things aren't done carefully, it'll trip an audit. Is that what you want?
Of course not. But we're risking our asses here. And we've seen what, maybe 5, 8% tops? We were promised a third of the final figure. And, as promised, when all is said and done, that's exactly what you'll receive. You must understand, we're absconding with an inordinately vast amount of capital from Galbank's coffers. Eventually, the shortfall will be discovered. As Claudia has so eloquently stated, if the transactions aren't siphoned at a reasonable rate, the audit team will be dispatched and our plan ruined. In time, my friend, you'll get your share, a third for each of us, as promised.
A third of 500,000 credits. Can't you just taste it? I think I'm gonna head straight for Neon with my share, put myself up at the Hotel Volai, and blow a shitload of money at the Astral Lounge. So come with me, won't you, Larry? I don't want to spend all that cash alone.
Of course, my darling. I can't think of a finer way to spend our time together. Oh, look, I'm gonna lay this all on the line. You have 2 more weeks to make this happen, or we're gonna have a problem. 2 weeks, Dombrowski. That's it.
An officer was...
Well, not. Nobody would have done. Listen, I saw that this came in.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
San Francisco's busiest shopping district. It was still new to the city because just 4 months earlier,
Well, looks like everything worked out, just like we planned. I wish you hadn't blown away the gambling bet that Sardine owed me. But hey, you got the job done. I'm glad one of us did. I'm just hoping you'll put in a good word for me with Delgado. Otherwise, I'll risk my career for nothing. You know, I'm still wondering exactly what you needed those credentials for. You feel like telling me, partner? I usually have a nose for these things, but in your case, it's a mystery. Very frustrating. Whatever the case may be, it's apparently worth risking your life over. That's telling me it involves a lot of money. That also means I won't get in.
May I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Of course, of course. I understand completely. Anyway, I suppose there's nothing stopping me from rejoining the fleet now. It's been a long time coming. I owe you one, Dover Beach. Don't worry, it's not an insult. It's a very old Russian word for comrade. It's what I intend to call you from now on, so get used to it.
how do you build a kitchen? Is the age-old question.
Don't worry. You'll get what's coming to you. I promise. Well, I suppose this is where we part company. Hopefully the next time we meet will be aboard the key.
Oh, we did one before.
This ship is in a state of emergency. Please return to your cabin immediately. Our security team would appreciate if you please shelter in your cabin during this emergency. Thank you.
Best gaming incident yet possibly can in 2026. Well, you probably noticed that pricing is a little bit all over the place.
Haven't you gotten enough out of me already? I hope you heard Dombrowski. Nail his ass right to the wall.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please?
Great.
The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
And 4K, so it doesn't matter how much you want to spend on a PC, this video will help you find the one that's perfect for you. All I've just to say is a massive thank you to this video sponsor, and then we can get started. Behaviorist Master 16 has arrived, bringing both jaw-dropping visuals and super slick movements. This stunning machine has a 60x10 quality OLED display, with unreal level of detail running up to 240 Hz. Not only that, the Master 16 uses the latest NVIDIA series of GPUs, DLSS 4 with great reconstruction, as well as both incredible options for AMD or Intel CPUs that pack some serious punch. Learn more on this next sleep machine today with a link below. So welcome back then, folks, and if you're new to this series, it's going to be very straightforward. We're going to be focusing on New Egg over in the States and then over Office UK here in the UK. It doesn't matter where you are located in the world, we're going to leave current prices all of the talk about with our links down in the description and in the comment section so you can kind of see whether this actually makes sense for you and obviously whether the pricing has changed in the time that you're watching this video. Let's start off with our budget-friendly rig, and we're going to begin over at Newegg. And I think the best place actually to start with a gaming PC really is going to be with the graphics card, because obviously this is the thing that's going to dictate your frame rate and it's going to determine whether you can play games in 4K, 1080, but more importantly really the actual frame rate as well of the games that you're going to play. And obviously the higher frame rate, the smoother it's going to be and the more playable it's going to be. And especially at the budget end, I mean, let me show you, there's not actually that many options, and not many big options at the moment. There is one, but it's more expensive in the States than it is here in the UK. You can see a 50-50, I mean, they're all like $300, they're definitely not worth buying. You can actually get more performance.
All passengers, may I have your attention, please? The captain has declared a ship-wide emergency. Please report to your cabins in an orderly fashion and remain there until you receive further instructions.
Originally, actually, I would say an ARC card, which is an Intel card, but let me show you what I mean. $350 for the cheapest RTX 5060. This is an 8GB graphics card, which is going to be fine for multiplayer gaming, fine for most people with a lot of single-player titles, but the latest and greatest, anything really where you want to make those settings up, or as I say, just play like something like Forza Horizon at like decent settings, you might find that you are going to, I don't want to say struggle, but certainly have issues with you have to learn how to right settings down in order to kind of free up the RAM, and then everything else should run nice and smooth. It's not something you want to do, but because obviously we live in a bit of prices, unfortunately VRAM and RAM is going to be more expensive, so that's why these graphics cards are so around about $360 for a 5060. So usually you say, oh, well, look at an ARC graphics card. So we're looking at the 570. This is going to have more VRAM, it's 10 gig, and it is going to give you more flexibility, despite the fact that the raw horsepower of the graphics card is actually less. Low to high and see what we have. I mean, actually, to be fair, I'm surprised by this, but this is not the same in the UK. You can actually get Simon Filming a B570 for a decent price. So again, 10 gigabytes of VRAM, $250. Actually, this makes a lot of sense. So once again, you can check out our kind of performance differences between like the B580 and we've got a video on the B570 as well, so you can see gameplay. But the B580 actually has a little bit
There's no cause for alarm. I'm sure this is just a minor malfunction or a drill.
certainly release new CPUs for this socket so you can get more performance at a later date. So if you're going to build a Starfield PC today, upgrade it in 2 or 3 years' time, there'll be some tasty CPUs that you can very easily exciting. But for now, expensive dollars, it's not something that's pricing a lot really, but it does include a CPU for one performance. And it isn't bad. This essentially makes this CPU around about $180, which is a really good price. But I also want to show you the alternative. I think people with this. And ultimately, $8 from Intel. I'm a massive fan of this CPU because in terms of value for money, it's one of those things. Always notice when I'm downloading games and just setting up these systems, which systems have this 64 CPU versus
sense, and it has very similar gaming performance to the 9600X. So it's really where you want to be at the period upgrade path. However, this isn't going to see.
I have things for you.
5-6 years.
We're free and clear for flight.
Year or two, then go for the 9600X. I'm going to say especially at the budget end of things. So let's have a look what we can do. We're looking for something close to around about $120 if possible. Do obviously bear in mind that if you need Wi-Fi, you have a motherboard that has Wi-Fi on it. Cheapest one here is from Asrock, the X50M. Also comes with this one comes with a free SSD. It's not going to be amazing, but it's PCI Gen 4, and it genuinely is going to cost us about $100 or so to get one separately. So okay, this is a no-brainer. Let's go for this MSI Pro board.
I have something for you when you have a moment. Here, I have something for you. Oh, you're incorrigible. I picked it up on one of our latest planetary expeditions. I'm more than just an extra gun, you know.
This is one that I actually use for my personal system, but it's more suited for the living room environment, really. Well, it's this one from Antec. I haven't used this before. NX200N. Plenty of ventilation. Oh, is that glass or is that plastic door? It does look a little
I'm just pleased I get to utilize some of my old field collecting skills. It's been a while. Check back with me from time to time after we return. If I pick anything up, it's all yours. Sidonia is an industrial town. The people there tend to be concise. Ask whatever you'd like. Okay.
Oh my god, not that stupid thing again.
System. I'm not saying that they are, but it's not something I feel comfortable recommending. As I say, just buy the cheapest power supply you can. It doesn't matter. That's not what I think at all. I've used the previous gen version of this loads, and it's fine. Now comes the bad bit. Let's look for a DDR5 memory, and we're definitely going to try and save as much money as possible by going for 16 gig. Yet 32, obviously that's going to make a lot more sense, but it is going to cost a bit of money. And the money at the moment is high, there's no way around it. You've got someone that has some DDR5 you can use, great, but otherwise you're going to be looking at something like this, which is $210 just for 16 gig. It's crazy. Well, at least it's reasonably quick, 6,000 megahertz. But yeah, it's $210 for 16 gig of RAM. It sucks. It really does, but that is actually one of the reasons for puzzle. So, yeah, well, budget really quick.
God bless you.
Yeah, but that's in US dollars. That's.
I know.
New eggs to the United States. What do you love?
I don't know. The jetpack, bro.
I mean, I can afford that.
Why?
Hello, welcome to the Galbank Archives. May I see your credentials, please? Oh, no, none at all. I'm all alone down here. Yeah, completely by myself. Well, I guess you're down here too, right? So that's two of us now. Sorry, not trying to lie to you or anything, just, yeah. Oh, no, this is just their deep storage facility. All the current records are upstairs in the main facility. This is where they put the older data onto long-term servers. Just one moment while I verify. Oh, yes, Mr. Dombrowski. Welcome, sir. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives.
You're an idiot. My character's a female, and you can call me sir.
No, never, not at all. I'm so sorry. Hey, look, please don't mention this to my supervisor, okay? She'll give me a low rating, and I'm going to end up scrubbing floors. Me? No. Look, this is my first day on the job. Just cut me some slack, okay? I can't afford to lose it. I got a wife and kids to feed. Everything checks out. Give me a moment to log your visit, and then I'll unseal the archives. There we go. Have a wonderful day.
Let's do this.
Let's see if they've got anything left.
Oh, I'm hit.
Well, I suppose they're not going to need it anymore.
Instead, I want even more performance and more VRAM, which puts you in a weird place because then you're looking at one of these, which is a 5070, and you can get this around about £495, which obviously has way more performance, especially in multiplayer.
Hello. Well. Oh no. Well, I guess. Oh, all the current. Just one moment. Oh. No. Hey, me? Everything checks out. There we go. But I can forgive the 5070 a little bit more now because obviously there's weird prices that we're in with the VRAM. The price hasn't really changed at the moment on the 5070. The price is obviously a lot cheaper. They could have just bumped up on the 60.
Ooh. I kind of like that. Oh my god.
Responsive, especially when, as I say, unpacking files, installing games, things like that. The rest of your system doesn't really hang as much as it will on the 6th floor. Obviously, there's an added issue with the SSD as well, but just in my experience, as I say, you can always notice when you're on a 6th floor system rather than an 8. Now, the other option is, of course, the 270K Plus, which came out earlier this year. Everyone's been very impressed with it. Once again,
Hello. Welcome to...
the Ultra 5.
Oh, no. Well, I guess... Oh, all the current Just one moment. Oh. No. Hey, me? Everything checks out. There we go.
This is a far better choice, but now we're starting to talk about a serious bit of money, and that's something that is obviously not nearly as good as when it comes to X3D. And the fact that you can't just drop the upgrade,
Come on, quit playing. I'm sure they had something we can use.
But we're now at that point where we have Windows 11 and nothing else. So how do we go from transforming this into something that is our latest and greatest titles, and what are some of the free bits of software that I installed to actually get the most out of this? This is what we're going to be exploring in this video, so we'll do
yeah, so if we're talking about like driving a car, it's hypothetical future, when it's installed. LCD with absolutely nothing on it, and that would be a waste of money. Why is that not working? I wanted this to be a white build, but we've got RGB on the periphery. There's going to be loads of things that obviously you're going to want to tweak. The most important, really, is to actually make sure your PC is running properly. The way you do that is by installing drivers. Now, this particular motherboard was actually a bit of a pain in the bum because I didn't actually have an internet driver linked into which actually meant that when I was installing Windows, I couldn't log in, which meant I had to go to a separate computer, had to download the driver from the internet, copy it across to the USB drive. That when I was installing Windows, I couldn't log in, which meant I had to go to a separate computer, and then I had to download the driver from the internet, copy it across to the USB drive, and then just install it manually, which was a right pain in the bum, but this is what happens whilst you are installing it on your Windows. So be aware of this. So the first thing I want us to do is to log into Edge. I want to do that, do away. And then we're going to need to find out what our motherboard model is. So if you do this yourself, you probably saw the box, more likely to know system, in which case you're going to sense that
And you didn't even scratch the paint.
This one is an Asus X870-A Strix. Also be aware that some motherboards will have Wi-Fi, some won't, and there'll be two different versions. So particularly when we start talking about BIOS, you make sure that you have selected the right motherboard. So if you've got one that has Wi-Fi, make sure you select Wi-Fi. If you don't, select the one that obviously doesn't. And it does make a difference. You can't update the BIOS on one of these boards with the wrong button. So please do be aware of this. But then you should come up here, so there's a results, and then you can see that we have our motherboard and the specifications. Great, but we're not really interested in here today. What we are interested in is to go to this support page and give you FAQs. But what we want is where it says driver and tools. So these are going to be all of the software bits that you actually need to get your PC running as smoothly as possible. And I will say that you don't have to install these. They're usually going to be old versions. You can also do with the Asus boards or like the Gigabyte XI equivalents. There'll be like an auto pop up at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen when you first log into Windows with Internet. So if you want to use auto detect and install or something similar to that. Personally speaking, I don't like that because I don't want any extra bloat software. And as I said, you can install it because it will intelligently tell you when it's updating. But for me personally, I'd rather just do it manually and then maybe update things that need to be updated every 6 months or so. Because generally speaking, it's only the graphics card driver that needs to be updated regularly. Everything else, it's kind of working great. There's some fixes, great, but it's not necessarily going to be essential things. But it is a good idea to get these from the start. So here we can go driver and tools, or the first thing I would do is once in BIOS and firmware, you'll find that we actually have some different BIOSes. So this is going to be motherboard BIOS. We can restart the PC, mash that delete key, and then you can get a copy of the latest BIOS, put it on a USB drive, and then you put it back in the system and you update the BIOS. Why you want to do that? Like this video at the top left corner of your screen. But what everyone's going to need to do is to go where it says driver and tools. If you're using Windows 10, so 10, but obviously they're using 11. And then here we have all the drivers that we are going to potentially need to get our system to work at its absolute best. Now, some of these are going to be utilities like RGB software. You'll be surprised a lot of these you don't actually need. The core ones are obviously your LAN, which is your networking. This is the one that if you try to get into Windows and it doesn't work, then you need to get this on either. chipset is the one that I'm strongly advising you do download. Very easy to get this. It's going to be fine, but yes, if you find that you can't install Windows version or whatever it is, also network drive, that would be the solution to that. But the latest version of this Wi-Fi chipset is the one that I'm strongly advising you do download. Very easy to get this and use, as I say, an older version. Windows install on your audio driver, so your audio to work with front panel, for example, obviously you're going to need this, and then you can also download a graphics driver, but do be aware that this is also only going to work on your CPU. If you're using like an AMD graphics card, then you go with the same time, but actually, most of the time I don't really bother with it. I'm not going to use the internal graphics kit that's also rated to the price of CPU. I'm just going to use the graphics card that I have installed into a box in order to take advantage of it. And so we try for that, and just got optimization for USB, same thing that is there. So it says also about saying use AI and laser, Dolby Access, all of these things that you might need, but certainly aren't essential. SATA, I'm not actually going to use, but again, optimize your drive speed potentially, and if you're using loads of hard drive and things, well then this is the utility that might be great that you can do if you want to get like a full RGB software to work. You'll be able to control the motherboard from within Windows, because by default you can only control it via your BIOS. This is where you set up your main codes and things, but if you do want software control, the Asus one is right here in the front. So installs, go back to the previous video, roll clip. Oh no, I've been stood here for about 10 minutes just trying to get to RGB on this computer to get relevant to send it to you. I don't usually get that angry. I do get annoyed. Everyone will tell you that I get annoyed very easily, but not actually quite that angry. But yes, once it's installed the Asus software, and then it will go into so within the Windows desktop. So the point is, it's entirely up to you. But I want my PC to be not well as I can separate everything out. So all I'm going to do here is grab the Bluetooth driver, USB, chipset, and then the audio. I like a wireless actually, to be fair. And this is a case of right click, extract, and then these ones say it's set up. Just double check. Traditional installer. Finished. I'm not going to like it will still look like this one. So networking, it doesn't look like it's doing anything. Then you get local tools. Other than that, you want to let the Wi-Fi probably just work on Windows, not work. So yes,
Fucking ghosting joint. Sounds like the ghosting joint. It's on.
What kind of name is Sysdef anyway?
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Join the club. You get a free poster and a Dakota ring.
Cut the shit, Neva. Well, since you're not vouching for Rokov, I'm going to tell him to leave. For good this time. All right? Now that is...
Oh, yeah. There's that.
Your buddy Rokov is aboard the Key. Told me everything that happened.
Yeah, he won't shut up about you. Keeps going on and on. Now I remember why we kicked his ass out the fleet. Yeah, that'd be a first.
All right, neighbor, you've made your point. Well, since you're vouching for Rokov, I guess we can give him another chance. All right, now that is out of the way, we can move on to the matter at hand. Crix's legacy. Speaking of which, let me see that data you copied from the Galbank archives. Ah, so the Galban transport went down over Bannock 4. Bannock. Why does that sound familiar? Neva?
Yeah, keep your panties on. I'm looking it up. And I got it. Bannock 4. Let's see. Damn it. Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant. We can't even get a ship near the thing without frying every circuit aboard.
EM class? Impossible. There isn't a ship in operation that can navigate that type of interference.
Don't know that one, huh? Oh, pick up your pencil. There's gonna be a test on this later. EM class means the planet is giving off a ridiculously high amount of electromagnetic radiation. We're talking off the charts here. Fly your ship anywhere near one of these death traps, and you'll blow every single circuit on your ship. You'd be dead in space. Get it? Yeah, sure. We'll just wrap your ship in a ton of copper and launch you right in there. That ought to do the trick, right?
Both of you shut up and think for a second. I'm sure Creeks hit the same roadblock. All we need to do is figure out how he got around it.
This sounds like a goddamn waste of time to me.
No, this all makes sense. The data says the transport went down over Bannock 4, carrying currency during the Narian War. There were ships fighting across the entire galaxy back then. It's not that hard to believe this one got lost that far out from home. I refuse to believe that we've come this far only to smash straight into a wall. I don't care what either of you think. We have to push through. Neva, the Gunman data says the transport had a CBR-27 transponder. Can we track that kind of thing? Pinpoint its exact location?
That transponder is military grade. We're talking ultra-bit encryption, constantly reshuffling frequencies. We don't have shit like that laying around. But before you get that pissy look on your face, I heard that the UC's been working on a ship signal decryption system called the ComSpike. We grab that little beauty, and we'll be able to track anything you want.
All right, here is the plan, so shut up and listen. Rook, I want you and Neva to put your heads together and get us that ComSpike. I don't care if it's mounted at the top of mast. I want it. In the meantime, I'm going to find out more about this EM-class gas giant problem. And I think I know just who to ask.
Give me a little time to crunch the numbers on the ComSpike with Jazz, and I'll point us in the right direction.
We do or we die. That's the way Creeks did things. And that is the way we should have been doing it for years. It's as simple as that.
I promise. You gonna write that in your diary, little girl?
All right, that is enough. We are at arm's reach of Creeks' legacy, and I don't have time to deal with this kind of bullshit. Now, both of you, get the hell out of here and get to work.
All right, let's get this over with. Follow me.
Always listen to Delgado, unless you want to get killed all across the
All right, let's get right to it. Did you get the Earth Savior Award? Or am I going to be very disappointed? Well, that's because you'd be absolutely right. You see, everyone above you in the fleet is making more than you are off the same gig. That's why we're all fighting our way to the top. Understood? Good. Now, you might want to hand over that award before I have you tossed off the key. Just a thought.
First of all, this is my section of the key, so I'm going to stand here for as long as I want. And second of all, I know all about that award and your deal with Neva. We don't keep secrets between us. Just throttle down and give her the damn thing already so we can get to work.
Well, look at that. You followed my directions, and now you're gonna end up with some credits in your pocket. Of course, it would have been more money if you hadn't blabbed about the damn thing to roll call. But that's on you. Anyway, here's your cash. Keep this up, and I might even start respecting you. All right, Fleet? We've all got work to do, so let's get to it. Those crabs ain't gonna steal themselves.
If you want to stay under the radar, I've got just the thing. No, but just remember, I don't work for free. I bet you would. I'm just kidding. Let's take a look. You've got stuff to smuggle. Sure. It's not like... Shop's always open.
Recall UC system. They're sharks, but to the fleet, they're just...
You looking to start something?
Lifting off right away, or do you need a little bit of time?
Thanks for stopping to chat. Any news to share? You know me. I'm an open book. I was raised in Hopetown. He likes to say, but that's a lot. Let me know the next time you meet.
We've detached. Let's get out of here. Navigation feedback checks out. We're in the right place.
Yeah. We'll be back, bro. We'll be back. Go to the store. Go into the store.
Where? Why?
Ketchup.
Ketchup.
We're having fries tonight.
So make sure you do set this up, get it to work, and turn it on. But I will say that depending on the application that you're using, for me, it's different to Resolve when I use it at work. If you set it to full screen and window mode, then you might notice that the frame rate changes when you're like playing back files, and suddenly you're getting like a real sluggish effect, and you move the mouse around. It's like, what the hell is going on? This is when you might want to turn GC off, or if you're using an OLED monitor and you find that the flicker that you can sometimes get inserted in games at certain refresh rates is really distracting, this is when you're going to want to try and turn GC off and see if that helps the application or the game that you're playing. Let's do some quick fire downloads now. I don't use Edge, I use Chrome. I also like the fact as well that when you try and download it, you get all these pop-ups like, please don't leave, Edge is great, please use Edge, and it is a lot better than it was before, but personally I just mainly really being the AV chipset. The chipset drive. Once that's installed, you will have to restart your system. But this is actually quite a good opportunity to show you the thing that most people will forget, but it is probably, I don't want to say the most essential thing, but it'd be the biggest waste for you to have a gaming PC and not do this. So as we're restarting, we're going to mash the delete key, and this is when we're going to do our optimizations over in the BIOS. Biggest waste for you to have a gaming PC and not do this. So as we're restarting, we're going to mash the delete key, and this is when we're going to do our optimizations over in the BIOS. So here we are, press delete key, is basically the same in every single motherboard, but you will find that your BIOS will look completely different depending on the brand. So MSI, Gigabyte, ASRock, Asus, they all look slightly different, but all tend to try and do essentially the same sort of thing. So if you haven't already, I would highly advise that you explore either XMP or XMO, because what this is going to do is get our RAM running at its full rated speed. And this is another reason why I say if you update your BIOS now, then you've got the best chance of compatibility when it comes to running faster RAM speeds, and you should have a more stable system. That's actually what the BIOS updates actually aim to do. But specifically, the reason I want you to come into the BIOS now is not actually to fiddle about with our overclocking settings and things, which you can, and I'll show you just a second. But what everyone should be doing is to tune their fans. By default, you're going to run a fan curve that ramps up very quickly. Now, I understand why, because it's far more important that when these manufacturers are selling motherboards, that systems live for a long time. They don't die, and they're very conservative in the way that they actually can set up these fan curves. So what this is essentially telling us is at what stage of heat do we want to apply a higher power to the fan, and thus make it run faster and thus cool our system. So by changing these values, you are changing how hot your system runs, but then also how quiet your system is. So if you want something to run at full speed all the time, you just hit full speed, and then suddenly, whoa, we're getting a load of noise. So you could do this, and this would give you the best possible temperatures, but you don't need that, because the whole point is that your CPU should probably running like 20 to 50 degrees for its idling, and then as soon as you start playing a game, maybe it hits like 60, 70 degrees, and if it's running full pelt, 100% in rendering or Cinebench or anything where you're stress testing it, then this obviously is going to be hitting near like 80, 85 degrees. There's no point having a system that runs like super low in terms of temperatures all of the time, because it's a waste of time. That's my opinion anyway, and I strongly advise that you set up a custom curve. And it does take a little bit of trial and error, because it depends on the fans, you know, the CPU, more CPUs, or there are a lot of CPUs that will use more power than others. There's going to be loads of things that obviously you're going to want to tweak, but the most important really is to actually make sure your PC is running properly. And the way you do that is by installing drivers. Now, this particular motherboard was actually a bit of a pain in the butt, because I didn't actually have an internet driver baked into the Windows insecticide. So you just finished building your brand new gaming PC and you don't know what to do next. Not only am I going to show you how to finish setting up the PC, but I'm also going to show you the important settings to change in the BIOS and on Windows itself so that you are getting the maximum FPS in your games. Well, believe it or not, but there are still some important settings that you have to change in your PC to make sure that you are not leaving any extra performance on the table. So with that said, let's begin with the Windows operating system installation. This is the part where we're going to be downloading the Windows operating files onto a flash drive and install it on our PC. If you're coming from my previous build guide or you have done this step already, feel free to skip to the next section. For everyone else watching, you're going to need an empty flash drive with at least 8 megabytes of space and access to a PC that has internet connection. Plug the USB drive into the PC and visit the Windows installation website. If you want to install Windows 10, visit the Windows 10 disk image website, and for Windows 11, visit the Windows 11 website instead. Both will be linked down below. Once you're on the main page, make sure to click on the correct download link. You want to download the configuration tool and not the installation assistance. Once that is downloaded onto your PC, open it up and follow the instructions. You're going to want to accept the terms and keep everything on default for the next page. Then click Next and select the USB drive option. After clicking Next again, make sure to select the USB drive that you've connected to the PC. Please note that everything on the drive will be erased, so double check and make sure you don't have anything important on there before moving forward. The installation will do the rest and it will install the operating system on your flash drive. This can take a while depending on how fast your internet speed is, so sit back and relax and let it do its thing. After it's complete, it will tell you that the USB flash drive is ready, so just hit the finish button and remove the flash drive. Now this is the best time to grab a Windows CD key. If you already have one, you can skip over to the next section of the video. But if you don't, you're going to need one to activate Windows. You can use literally any website you are comfortable with. You can buy directly from Microsoft, but if you want to save a lot of money, you can buy from VIPUCD.com, which is the place I get my keys for all of my PC builds on the channel. I like using VIPUCD because they are fast, reliable, and their customer service is the best. You sell Windows 10 and Windows 11 CD keys, but it's important to buy the correct version. The version of Windows that you purchase has to match the version of Windows you are installing on your PC. For example, if you're installing Windows 11 Pro, make sure to buy a Windows 11 Pro key. A Windows 11 Home key won't work. If you guys are picking up a key from here, make sure to use the GovTS20 to get an extra discount. And after checking out, visit the User Center on top, then click on your purchase orders and view the key. Make sure to write this down somewhere because you are going to need it later in the video to activate Windows. Now before we continue with the operating system installation, let's change a few settings in the BIOS first. Make sure to plug in your keyboard and your mouse into the back of the motherboard's USB ports. You also plug in your display cable from your monitor. Let's change a few settings in the BIOS first. Make sure to plug in your keyboard and your mouse into the back of the motherboard's USB ports. You also plug in your display cable from your monitor into the back of the graphics card. Do not plug this cable into the back of the motherboard, otherwise you will most likely not get a display. Hit the power switch on the back of your power supply and proceed to power on your PC. If for some reason you're having issues getting display on your monitor or your PC isn't powering on, I recommend pausing this video and watching my troubleshooting video on YouTube, which I'll link below or on the top right corner of the screen. After you guys fix the issue, you can come back and continue watching the video. You might get a first time BIOS message on the monitor asking you to go into the BIOS. If that's the case, then just hit the button that tells you to go into the BIOS. If it doesn't, it will automatically take you to the BIOS anyways. If you guys installed an all-in-one cooler like this into your PC and you plugged in the pump header cable into the CPU fan header cable on your motherboard, then this is the setting you have to change in the BIOS to make sure that the pump is running at a constant speed. You should always run the pump of your cooler at a constant speed. That way it maintains a steady flow of liquid through the cold plane. If you guys aren't using an AIO cooler, skip to the next section of the video. So once again, if you guys installed an all-in-one cooler and you have this cable, which comes directly at the pump, and you plug this into the CPU fan header or any other fan header on your motherboard that doesn't have the words pump on it, then this is what you have to do. Once you're in the BIOS, navigate to the fan settings. Usually you can find this right on the main menu. If you're on an Asus board, it's called Keep Fan Tuning. And on
some other motherboards, it's in the hardware monitor tab at the top. I would recommend going into the advanced menu first, as it's a lot easier to find the setting that you're looking for. In most motherboards, it's the F7 button on your keyboard that you have to press. If not, if you know which one it is near the bottom. Anyways, once you're in the fan control settings, locate the fan header that the cable is plugged into. In my case, I plugged the pump cable into the CPU fan header. I'm going to simply click on the fan profile and change it to full speed. If your pump is extremely loud at full speed, you can set it to one speed lower. In my case, one speed lower is called turbo mode. After you are happy with the current setting, just hit F10 to save the changes to your slot PC. Okay, next step. Did you mount your graphics card vertically or horizontally? If you mounted it horizontally like this, you can skip on over to the next section. If you mounted your graphics card vertically and you're using a riser cable, and you're experiencing any sort of black screen or game crashes, then you have to go to the BIOS and set the speed of the PCI slot manually to ensure that the graphics card is stable. This is especially common if you're using a newer gen GPU with an older gen riser cable. So let's go ahead and restart the PC and head to BIOS. Then navigate to the advanced settings and locate PCIe configuration. Then go to the PCI Express menu. Ideally, you would have plugged the graphics card on the top PCI slot as the motherboard, because typically it's the fastest lane. If that's the case, we're going to find the lane your graphics card is plugged into, which should be labeled X16, and change it to match the gen of your riser cable. If you're using a Gen 5 riser cable, set it to Gen 5. If you're using a Gen 4 cable, set it to Gen 4, so on and so forth. Only do this if your GPU is experiencing black screen or stability issues on your default auto settings. After you have selected the correct gen, just hit F10 to save the changes and restart the PC. Resize bar is also another setting I highly recommend enabling in your BIOS if it isn't already enabled, because in some cases it will actually boost your frame rates in games. If your motherboard has this option available, I would enable it. There are no downsides to keeping it on. You either gain extra FPS in games or you don't. So once you're into the BIOS, switch over to the advanced menu and go to the advanced section. Over here, we're going to find the setting that says PCI subsystem or something similar. Once you're in here, simply enable resize bar support if it isn't already enabled by default. In some other motherboards, you might have to enable 4G encoding first in order to get access to the resize bar support. After that, just hit F10 to save changes and reboot the system. Flashing the BIOS is completely optional. If your PC is stable and it's not running into any issues, then I don't recommend flashing your BIOS. It's one of those things where if it's not broke, don't fix it. So if you don't want to flash the BIOS, then just skip over to the next section. If you do, this is how you're going to do it. First thing you want to do is grab a flash drive. Make sure this is a new and formatted drive, because it's going to be a lot easier to locate the BIOS file. Head on over to your motherboard's website by searching the model name and find the support tab. Scroll down and click on the BIOS tab and download the latest BIOS version. Once the files are downloaded, open the folder and then you can extract the folder. After the entire folder is extracted, you can open it up and transfer the BIOS file, which is usually a cap file, into your USB drive. Some motherboards will come with a rename tool which will rename the BIOS for you. That way the motherboard can recognize it easier. I do recommend running the rename tool before transferring the BIOS file into your USB drive. After the file is transferred, remove the USB drive and plug it in the back of your PC into the USB port that's labeled BIOS. Some motherboards have a BIOS flashback button, meaning you can flash the BIOS while the PC is off by simply pressing the button. If yours doesn't have a button, just simply power the PC and go into the BIOS by pressing on the delete key on the keyboard. On most motherboards, the flash BIOS button should be right there on the main menu. If yours doesn't show up, switch to the advanced menu. Then go ahead and navigate to the tool category up top and click on the setting that has the words flash. You're going to navigate to the USB drive that you plugged in and locate the CAP file and open it. Please note that you might have to switch the filter to CAP instead of zip so that the file can show up on the flash drive. After opening up the file, just confirm that you want to flash the BIOS and hit yes. Whatever you do not shut off your PC during this update process, as it will probably break your system. It will restart the PC a few times, so don't freak out, but once it's all done, it will take you to your desktop. Okay, now we are ready to install Windows onto our PC.
grab the USB drive that we just installed the operating system on and plug it into the back of the PC. After powering on the PC, it will automatically detect the flash drive that's plugged in, and it will take you to the information page. If it doesn't and it kicks you back into the BIOS, then just simply try a different USB port in the back. And if that doesn't work, restart the PC and hit the F8 key on your keyboard or whichever your boot menu key is. That way you can manually boot from the flash drive. If all else fails, reformat the flash drive and re-download and install the operating system on here. And if that still fails, I recommend watching a build guide from the following timestamp to troubleshoot. After you guys figure out the issue, come back and continue watching the video. Anyways, if everything works accordingly, then it should bring you to the installer. And you just have to follow the prompts on the screen until you get to the activate Windows screen. If you already purchased your key from before, you can put it in here. Otherwise, you can go back to the following timestamp to learn how you can pick up a CPU key. If you want to do all of this later, just simply click on the I don't have a product key on the bottom to skip the activation for now until you finish the installation. This next page is very important. You have to select the correct version of Windows that we are installing onto the PC. This has to match the CPU that you purchased or are planning on purchasing. If you bought a Windows 11 Home key, then make sure to select Windows 11 Home. If you bought a Windows 11 Pro key, then select the Pro option instead. On the next page, just accept the license terms, and on the following page, we're going to click on the custom option. This is the page that will show you all of your storage devices that the PC recognizes. If your drive doesn't show up here, then there's something wrong. I would go back and make sure all the connections are plugged in correctly, and as a last resort, you can watch that build guide from the following timestamp listed on the screen. Then you can come back and continue from here. I always recommend selecting the fastest drive for your operating system. In my case, I have a 1TB Gen 5 SSD and a 4TB Gen 4 SSD. The Gen 5 SSD is much faster, and that is where I want my operating system installed, so I can take advantage of the faster boot times. So I will select the 1TB unallocated space and hit next. Windows will now do its thing and install the operating system on the drive. This can take anywhere up to 30 minutes depending on the speed of your storage device, so just kick back, relax, and let it finish. It might even restart a few times. After it's done, it will automatically take you to the Windows setup page. So once again, follow the on-screen prompts until you get to the network page. When you finally get to the network page, you can go ahead and plug in your Ethernet cable in the back. If your Wi-Fi or network shows up, feel free to connect to it and continue the setup process. Please note that you will be required to log into your Microsoft account immediately. If you want to skip the account login page, continue watching. If you want to skip this entire step and connect to the internet and your Microsoft account later, then all you gotta do is hit the Shift and F10 key on your keyboard to bring up the command. Skip this entire step and connect to the internet and your Microsoft account later, then all you gotta do is hit the Shift and F10 key on your keyboard to bring up the command prompt, and then type in /bypass and RO. This will bypass the network and Microsoft account requirement, and you can finish the rest of the setup process yourself. Please note, it might restart your PC and make the beginning stage of the setup again. But once you get to the network section, you will now have the option to select I don't have internet, which will skip the Microsoft account setup and the internet connection. I do, however, recommend disabling all of the analytics options on the next page before moving forward. The PC might restart a few times until it finally begins to do the desktop.
Every serial vacation started with its hero. Dad illustrated a new city on paper. So we booked a vacation home big enough for everyone. Great, right? Nice job, Dad. Next video. The book is about to get busy.
we start optimizing your PC, let's go ahead and download and install the drivers first. If your PC can't connect to the internet via Wi-Fi or hardwire, then you will need access to the internet on a different PC to download the drivers. If you're running an AMD CPU and or an AMD graphics card, it's very easy. Just download the all-in-one AMD driver app from the AMD website, which I'll link below, and just simply open it and let it do its thing. It will automatically check the latest driver for your CPU and the GPU, and it will update it for you. If you're running an NVIDIA graphics card, then you would have to download the NVIDIA app instead, formerly known as GeForce Experience. Once you are on the NVIDIA app, just click on the driver section and click on Check for Updates. If there's a new driver available, it will download and install it for you. Intel GPUs have their own website as well, and once again, I'll leave a link to all of these down below. And finally, if you're running an Intel CPU, you will need to download the Intel chipset driver instead. You can find this on your motherboard manufacturer website. For example, this PC is rocking an Asus Z890 motherboard. So I'm going to Google that on the browser, find the official motherboard website, and click on the link. Once I'm on the motherboard main page, I'm going to navigate to the support tab, and over here you will find the Intel chipset driver. While you're here, you might as well download the rest of the drivers for your PC. This goes for everyone, regardless if you're running an Intel or AMD CPU. You're going to need the following files: Wi-Fi, LAN, the Realtek audio drivers, Bluetooth, if your motherboard supports Bluetooth, and some optional downloads that include the Armory Crate if you're running an Asus motherboard. This is an all-in-one software that will keep you control over your RGB lighting system. It will also keep your Asus devices updated, and you get access to nice overclocking features. Anyways, once all the files are downloaded onto the USB drive, simply transfer them to the PC desktop first before you extract the files. This is very important. After you extract all the files, open them up one by one and install them onto the PC. A quick note, you're going to want to open up the file that says setup on there. In my case, I'm using an Asus motherboard, so the file name is going to have Asus setup. Now that all the drivers are downloaded and installed, it's time to change the recording settings in your PC. First things first, let's change the refresh rate of your monitors. By default, the refresh rate is always set to 60 Hz. This is common when you buy a new monitor or you do a fresh install of Windows. So if you're running a monitor with a refresh rate of 75 Hz or higher, you have to enable this manually. Right-click on the desktop, go to the display settings, click on the monitor you want to change, and scroll down and click on Advanced Display. Then simply click the drop-down menu and set it to its maximum refresh rate and hit Apply. Do this for every monitor that you're plugged into your PC. While we're here, go to the graphics settings, click on the option to change the setting up top, and make sure the bottom and top settings are both enabled. I actually tested this myself. These two settings alone are responsible for producing about 40 FPS and Marvel Rivals 4K settings, and even more on some other games. If you have Windows 11, these settings are usually set on by default, but for some reason these settings are off. Make sure to enable them. Next step, let's make sure that your CPU is able to run at its max clock speed in the PC. Hit the Windows button on the keyboard and search for Power Plan, and click on the Choose Power Plan option. You always want to make sure to select High Performance. If it needs to, hit the Windows button on the keyboard and search for Power Plan, and click on the Choose Power Plan option. You always want to make sure to select High Performance. All this does is it makes the CPU run at full speed when it's needed. So if you're gaming or using programs that stress the CPU, Windows will allow the CPU to achieve its max clock speeds. Now this will bring you any significant performance gains by any means. We're talking anywhere between 1 to 5 FPS at the most. This was actually tested by Cyber CPU10. But yeah, nothing significant here by any means, but it's a setting I always recommend you turn on, just so we're not leaving any performance on the table. On the contrary, if you're using an X3D CPU, it's recommended that you keep the power plan at balance mode instead of high performance. That way, the 3D cache is being utilized properly. In some games, you will actually lose performance running on high performance mode instead of keeping it on the balanced power plan. And this is especially true if you have VTO enabled in the BIOS. So to recap, if you're running an Intel CPU or an AMD non-X3D chip, you run it at high performance mode. If you're running an AMD CPU with VTO enabled, or you're running any AMD X3D CPU, enable balance mode instead. If you installed any additional storage devices in your PC and they don't show up under my computer, then chances are you didn't enable them. You actually have to do this manually. Hit the Windows button on your keyboard and search for disk. Then go in and find the Format Wireless option and click on that. Here you'll see a list of all of your storage devices, whether they are activated or not. You can tell which ones are not activated by the words unallocated. You also have a black border on the top. We're simply going to click on the unallocated storage device and click on View Simple Volume. Then just follow the steps here carefully, repeating everything on its default setting. Unless you want to manually assign a private letter, then you can change that here. And on the next page, you can name your device if you want to, and then hit next and click on finish. The system will then refresh itself, and when you go back into my computer, you can see that the drive is now there and ready to be used. Okay, now is a good time to enable XMP, also known as a stream memory profile. By default, when you build a new PC or install new memory sticks, you're actually running at a much lower clock speed than you're supposed to. It's your responsibility to go to the BIOS and enable the setting, that way it's running at its max speed. Enabling this one setting in the BIOS will actually improve your frame rates in games. You can check this right now on your PC while watching this video. Just right click on the taskbar and click on Task Manager. Then navigate to the Performance tab and click on Memory. On the bottom, it will show your memory's current speed. And if this is much lower than what your memory should be running at, then it simply means that the XMP is off. Okay, so we're going to restart our PC and hit the delete key on the keyboard until we get into the BIOS. Then we're going to navigate to the Overclocker tab, sometimes called AI Tweaker. Do keep in mind if the Overclocker tab does not show up, then you have to switch over to Advanced mode. Scroll down until we find the Extreme Memory Profile section. Then we're going to hit Enter and set the first profile we see. Usually it's called XMP1, and in some other cases it might be called XMP2 or Profile 2. In some cases, it might even be called AOCP instead if you're running an ASUS board. That's all we're going to change here in the BIOS. So just hit F10 to save the changes and restart your PC. Once you're back on the desktop, go back into the taskbar manager and confirm that the XMP was successful. If your memory clock speeds are now matching the speed of your memory, then you're good to go. Now, if for some reason the XMP failed and you're experiencing crashes or black screens, then you have to restart the PC and go back into the BIOS and downclock our memory. So once you restart your PC and you're back into the BIOS, go back into the Overclocker tab and then scroll down until you find your memory speed. As you can see, mine is currently set to 6,000. So let's say the XMP failed and my PC is unstable. Well, I'm going to drop the frequency by 100 megahertz. So from 6,000, I'm going to drop it down to 1,500 or whatever is the closest. After that, I'm going to hit F10, save the changes, and go back on the desktop. Basically, you have to repeat the process until you find a stable frequency for the memory. It all comes down to how well the memory and the motherboard play nicely together, or if the memory is on the motherboard's QWL. But if you keep dropping the frequency down and the PC still isn't stable, then it's better to go back in the BIOS and completely turn off XMP until you upgrade your memory in the future to something that's more compatible with your motherboard. Alright, now let's get rid of all the garbage that's slowing down your PC and your PC's boot times. Right click on the taskbar and go into the Task Manager. Then go into the Startup Apps on the left side, and here you'll see a list of programs that will start up after your PC boots. And you're going to want to disable the apps that you don't care for. If you have a bunch of games installed on your PC, then I recommend disabling the game launcher of every game. You don't need every single game launcher to load up every time you boot up your PC. It just eats up additional resources. You can always launch whatever game you want when the time comes. Usually you want to keep the applications that are more important to you, like Dropbox, Discord, Stream Deck, and others. Right now, this might seem very small because you just finished building a PC.
Why you muted?
So I recommend bookmarking.
dreaming of Markiplier and don't tell Helios? We both dream of Markiplier. It's Markiplier. You killed God, Markiplier. I won.
Today, we are diving into brand new details that have been revealed about the upcoming Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 PlayStation ports, including new information from Activision themselves, as well as other details from trusted sources, including cross-play, new servers, and more. And to round it all up, we'll also look at a technical level to see how different these will be compared to the versions playable right now on Xbox Series X. It's only been 2 days since the initial announcement from Activision, but it is the third most liked tweet in Call of Duty history and the most liked
Bruh. Why? Hello?
So as we dive in, if you're excited, you enjoy what you hear. Hey, you just walked through the interview like that? So who am I here with? Young Melee, CJ from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Couple questions for you. What's your favorite line you've ever said in GTA San Andreas? I know you lie. Guys. I was talking to Woozy, some Chinese dude I was working for towards the end of the game. We was robbing casinos and shit. Would you ever come back to the character if Rockstar ever asked you? Hell yeah, that's no question. No-brainer. No question at all, man. I would love to do CJ and shit. It look like they're going in a different direction with it. That's oh my God. As officers across Pueblo. Colorado deal with various separate cases. One incident causes them to drop everything. Officer Valdez had just pulled up to a man named Billy Soto. Billy is wanted on several warrants for failing to appear in court for several drug dealing charges with fentanyl, multiple counts of aggravated motor vehicle theft, weapons violations, and broken protection orders. Before Officer Valdez is even able to assess what is going on, the unthinkable happens. During the shooting, another officer was behind Valdez's. After shooting at Officer Valdez 27 times with a rifle, Billy flees down the sidewalk before turning left into the neighborhood. Oh, hold up. Stop the tape. Apparently, we have a man who has several warrants against him, but apparently is still out on bond, and he has ambushed a police officer. This absolutely will be charged as attempted first-degree murder of a peace officer. The maximum sentence on this is 50 years. The gunman's defense attorney can't say, oh, well, he didn't know that he was shooting at a cop because he's shooting into a patrol car. There was another police officer behind this police officer, and so theoretically, he could be charged with attempted first-degree murder of 2 peace officers. That would be a total maximum sentence of 100 years. Already, this is an absolute insanity. Let's see where this goes. Valdez is only the first of several officers who will be hospitalized by Billy.
Not showing no more. Not ghost no more.
Yes, one of my shots. I don't know. I'm looking. Are you feeling pain? No. Look at you. No, you're on the right side. I got a lot of blood. I can't find the bullet. I'm looking. He's on the head. Oh my gosh.
Alright, so our officer here has been shot in the head. The amount of
Sometimes we'll take the long-range fighters out to grav jump and drop by traffic on the
he's been shot in the head. He tells the other officer, okay, well, just apply pressure. That is outstanding. So many people, including me, would fall apart if I knew I'd been shot in the skull.
So I heard there was a bit of excitement on the Siren of the Stars. Your handiwork, I assume?
Alright, Professor, we're just off of base up. Okay, shot. I just need your help. Help me out, okay? I got this.
Nice work. Any specific evidence you picked up regarding criminal activity should be given to Lieutenant Toft after the debriefing.
If the evidence pans out, you can visit those alleged criminals in our brig the next time you stop by the Vigilance. But for now, what do you have on Delgado and his little ragtag group of pirates?
Yes, and I heard there were no casualties. Excellent work.
Except for the eclectic hit squad that you took down at the archives. Taking care of that mess, by the way.
Speaking of which, I assume you copied the information from the Galbank's computers. Let me see what you got. So the legacy went down at Bannock 4. Why does that sound familiar, Toft?
Bannock 4 is an EM-class gas giant, sir. There isn't a ship in the fleet that could safely get near that type of world. The Bannock system was the site of a significant battle during the Narian War. I had to do a research paper on the subject at the Academy. It sounds like you admire that lunatic. Call it whatever you like. It doesn't change the fact that Delgado is still a murderer. Your best buddy has killed every single one of our previous informants.
That's enough, Lieutenant. Even if Delgado has an immediate solution to the EM problem, there's still the matter of tracing the Legacy's transponder signal. Of course I am. We don't really have a choice in the matter. There are no shortcuts. The route you're taking to secure Crix's legacy for the Crimson Fleet is the only one at our disposal. If you suddenly change your behavior, they'll know something's wrong. I realize it's difficult, but I urge you to stay the course for now. In the meantime, we'll formulate a plan to ensure the Crimson Fleet doesn't get their hands on that money. I'm not certain. Galbank uses their own proprietary transponder system. Even a ship as old as the Legacy would be a challenge to trace. And even if we could find the ship, we don't have anything strong enough to resist those levels of EM radiation. Unfortunately, we're hampered by the same obstacles as the Crimson Fleet. They have information about the comm spike? Damn it.
I'm afraid I'm not familiar with that device, sir.
No, you shouldn't be familiar with it. It's a highly classified project. It's an advanced signal decryption and tracking device that the UC Navy's been working on for years. How the hell did the Crimson Fleet find out about that?
There must be an information leak somewhere, sir. It's the only thing that makes sense. I'll see what I can find out.
Fine. This is what we're going to do. You keep playing along and go after the comm spike. Lieutenant Toft and I will see what we can find out about Bannock 4. My superiors are stubborn. They aren't going to authorize an attack on the key based on my flights of fancy, I've been told. We need more evidence that all the Crimson Fleet's plans will result in them actually getting their hands on this fabled cache of credits. I don't see the point. The Crimson Fleet apparently has a pipeline of information flowing from somewhere within the UC military. Any attempt to move the comm spike would be a waste of time. We need to play this close to the vest. Perfect. Just stick with the plan and we'll see who gets to Krix's legacy first.
This mission is going to require discretion on a number of fronts. I know as much as you do. I wasn't briefed on this particular device. But if the fleet wants to trace the Legacy's transponder signal, they'll need something beyond the decryption tech we have currently. If such a device exists, it's likely being developed by the UC. The commander and I are quite busy, so if you don't mind continuing... If you don't mind, I'd like to hurry this up. Did you lose your train of thought? You still there? You seemed like you were about to make a point and then... nothing. That information is classified, so even what I do know, I can't divulge. Now, I realize as part of this mission, you'll probably end up finding out anyway, but that's besides the point. For the sake of your cover, it's best you work with whatever information the fleet gives you.
Well, out of the frying pan.
Nice work. Let me take a look. kidding me? Dombrowski was already making a 6-figure salary, and yet he couldn't resist starting an embezzlement scheme. It makes me sick. It's gonna be an absolute pleasure to throw his butt in prison. Any other fragments? Understood. Keep... We'll be here if you need us.
Lieutenant Toft said...
Siren of the Stars, huh? Pretty fancy for a pirate.
Recycled air. Just isn't the same as the real thing.